Hey, watch what's going on right now. This is an atomic explosion. Boom. It just went off. I just stopped it. All the mass, all the light particles, the energy is fusing. It's not pushing anything. Watch, I'm going to let it go. And everything just smokes up. Even the poles, even the wires, everything. Anything that can combusts. And this is nothing but the white energy, and there's no mass to it. Nothing is moving. You see it? It's just floating up in the air from being burnt up. And now the mass comes behind it and just slams the hell out, it just rips everything off, because it's just nothing but a wall of mass, which is the black matter. Now, this is what they're doing here. They're trying to create an artificial sun and plasma and all this stuff. Well, they have to put in twice as much energy as they will ever get out of this. They had to upgrade this. They say, fabulous, we got 17 minutes. But you know what they had to do? They had to double the input energy into this thing to make it work. It says, according to this guy, head of the East Physics Experimental Division, several systems device have been upgraded since the last round of experiments. The heating system, that's nothing more than energy. Previously operated at an equivalent of 70,000 microwaves ovens. Now they doubled it. So obviously you're going to get more fusion. Fusion is a silly thing. It's just silly. And I'll show you why. They're never going to get more than they put into it. Nobody has ever broken even, and they never will. They have to keep putting more energy into it than they will ever get out of it. They think all of a sudden it's just going to start all by itself. Never will that ever happen. Never. Okay, this is my dipole electron flood theory, and it's up on the internet. It's called dipole electron flood theory.com. Now, this is what the nucleus of all atoms look like. And the dark parts go to the center, and all those white parts that made the house go like this surround it. So when the bomb goes off, the white parts go out first. And they're pushed by the black. So the white ones come out, burn the house up, the black comes behind, the house goes up. These can separate. I never realized you could separate those two. Well, nobody's ever realized that light contained both particles. So this is what it is, and there's 1,839 of these dipoles, which is a black and a white one, in every proton. And that's all it is, these two particles. That's all that exists. There's nothing other than those two particles. They make everything that exists. And normally they're attached together. They call them gluons. All right, here's the differences between my model and the standard model. The standard model has one big, solid, huge positive particle, which is enormous, and then a couple of little tiny electrons, which have the same charge, but they just do almost nothing. They don't even count them in the weight. Mine is that we have some of each. However, there is a difference between these two particles. This one never changes size, ever, 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 ever. Always the same size, fixed and cold as can be. It's absolute zero. There is no energy without being moving. When it's stationary, there's no energy whatsoever. It's absolute zero. Now, an electron is all energy. So it's going to burn anything. If it was by itself, its only nature in life is to get back to the black. It will burn through anything. That's why it's so energetic. This is lightning, right to the ground. It's static, snap, right to the ground. It is electricity, because if you get a dead short to ground through you will be electrocuted. Its main job wants to get to earth ground. Well, what is earth ground? Dark matter. This has no weight and no mass. You saw it. It didn't move anything. So you're not standing on that. You're standing on this. You follow me? This is the only thing that has any mass. And these are the only two particles that exist. So you're not standing on that one. It has no mass. All right? But normally they're glued together like this. And then as you start building molecules in light has a little bit of mass. You can burn things with light. You can do all kinds of things with light. You can burn your eyeballs right out with light. There is a mass there, but it's attached to energy as well. This is particles in motion. This is heat. This is light, which is really, you know, it's high energy. But the smallest stable particle outside of an electron. An electron is not stable. This is a dipole electron. It is not stable. It will want to attach to something and add on to another particle, making it an isotope, or it will want to invade, just move into like this dragon scale and just work its way in there, and this will get hotter as that particle goes in. And it is a dragon scale, my friends. And this is the foot of a giant, of some kind of creature we don't know about yet. We got a lot of thinking to do in a lot of areas here. But my point is, only two particles that exist. Until you understand physics, you don't understand anything. Then you have to understand the chemistry that works with the physics. Then you have to understand heat and thermodynamics and pressure, gravity, the atmosphere, different layers of the atmosphere, which is different molecules, basically. Once you get way out in the outer atmosphere, it's mostly hydrogen and oxygen, the gases that are the lightest. Anyway, this is the new model, and it works. It works for everything. I can't find anything it doesn't work for, but it destroys everything. That's why it's kind of not allowed too good, because the redshift doesn't work. Light is just slowing down, coming to us. It's not being pulled away because it never slows down. These are the kind of things that are very difficult for me to deal with, because these are kind of things that are laws. They say, oh, no, you can't say anything about the light slowing down or speeding up. I said, we could do it. I showed you. Doesn't matter. It's a law. Whoa. This is extremely simple, because when things are correct, they are simple. This is the particles that they found at Fermilab. We found exactly the same particles. Now, they found them after they smashed big, huge chunks of protons together, which consists of 1,840 dipole electrons, a proton. So when they did that, they just had debris. And eventually, though, they did find little bitty bits, but we started with these little bitty bits. So when we broke it, we could get an actual photon, and we split the photon, and we ended up seeing the dipole electrons, and then we actually saw the sterile muon, just like they do at CERN, and we could see electron showers. Now, this is literally the whole show right here. This is it. The smallest stable particle that exists, which is an electron, and it's stable enough to where it stays together, but it wants to find a partner as heat. When you send heat into anything, you take this bone here, and if I heated that up, it would get heavier. You say, oh, no, heat makes everything rise. No, it doesn't. Heat is a weight in itself. The black part is weight, and the white part has no weight, but it will seek cold. All right? If cold will suck in electrons because it wants electrons. If this is overheated and it has too many electrons in it, they'll just leak out. Very simple. Now, this was my theory since 1970. Everything there is made out of atomic vapor from the sun, from the luminous sources. And it comes down as heat, or chunks. All kinds of chunks come out of the sun, everything. It appears about stable at around 1,840 of these dipoles. So a proton core, the center of it, as I showed you before, like way down inside here, would be dark matter. But it's always completely coated, so they've never seen it, because every time they look at it, the light bounces back. So the dark matter attracts the white. It'll suck the white right onto it. And that's what it is. The white chases the black, or the black sucks the white, one or the other. Now the dark is fixed size, never, ever changes. And it weighs 0.000585 or so atomic mass units if Millikan's oil drop experiment is correct. And I'm going to accept that, because it seems pretty sound. Now, the dark is a fixed size, never changes. That dark never changes. Exactly what they said from Fermilab. They said it's a fixed particle completely made of mass. It doesn't emit, it doesn't absorb, and it doesn't reflect. It's absolute zero as far as temperature goes when it's not moving. When it's moving, it's pushing the white, just as we saw. It pushed the white and the house burnt up, and then the house exploded once the black caught up. So it's a fixed size. The dark is fixed. It never changes. And it's about 1840. Now, I'm just showing the way it works. Let me just show you what they actually do look like. This is as simple as you can possibly get, because I am a simple person. I don't care about being fancy and having a whole bunch of special names for things. No, it does not help. This is where you go to find reality. Mudfossil University on YouTube. I cover everything. Now, and here's my email address. If you have something important, I really can't answer every kind of, what does this rock look like and so forth. I understand everybody's excited about this stuff, but I just don't have time. We're trying to create a forum where everybody can interact and we can have a community, because this is not allowed now. Everybody, you start speaking and they shut you right down. I just got blocked 2 groups this morning on Facebook. I try, you just come up, you show something that they don't want to, it upsets their apple cart, you're gone. So anyway, and it was basic physics. I said, what if light accelerates? Done. Now, Roger@mudfossils.com, and here's what the matter really looks like. The light. You can have that black particle with the white, it's just almost nothing. And maybe nothing, I don't know. It's got to be something there, but there just seems to be no way. And it can go this way where it's equal, and we can show that in the photons. Or it can go this way where the white just gets enormous, explodes. And then we get fission where the black stays all by itself and is entirely the mass. As far as I'm concerned, this has no energy, it's got all the energy, and I can't find any mass to it. You saw it hit the house and nothing. What does that mean? It means there's no mass. Not only that, when you fill up your car with this white part, when you fill up your car or your battery or charge anything, electricity, it doesn't matter. It has no weight whatsoever. None. Zero. I can find. So I always use this example. Let's take a car. A car weighs 4,000 pounds. Empty or full, doesn't matter. You charge it up all the way full, 4,000 pounds. You drive it all day, you come back to the house, and it's all 4,000 pounds. You fill it all back up, 4,000 pounds. Woof. All you're doing is putting that white energy in, and we can get that white energy literally for free using the Venturi. So what does that mean? That means we might be able to get free energy.